Today I'm going to be doing part 1 of what if. Okay, what if Buggy joined joined um, Shanks. So basically, he's going to do this at Logtown after the ginormous execution, and this is actually going to have a very big impact. Like Luffy is going to look up to Shanks, but then he's also going to look up to Buggy because let's say when the mountain bandits got Luffy, Shanks went after him, and Shanks and Buggy. So when Shanks jumps into the water, Shanks still loses his arm, but Buggy, let's say somehow Shanks lost grip of Luffy, and Luffy starts to drown. Is about to drown, but then Buggy catches him. Now Buggy's going to know hockey, and he's going to use his Devil Fruit much better. Yeah, this is basically teching one-on-ones. One Piece theory. It's not mine. Yeah. So without further ado, let's get right into this. What if? So I want to start this at everybody's still in the crew, even though Nami probably wouldn't be on the crew, but everybody's still in the crew. So basically, what's going to go down is Buggy is going to have red hair, yeah, and we're gonna start. He's gonna have a bounty of about 1.5 billion, being the first mate of Shanks' crew. So without further ado, let's get right into this. What if? So we see Buggy as he's at Marineford, and he's just sitting there, chilling there on a throne. You know, kind of like Emu Sama. He's just sitting there on a golden throne with a ship in the background as everybody's fighting, and then it's becoming a catastrophe. As one of the transponder snails, and this thing pops up on the big screen because they haven't took down the transponder snails yet. They haven't got this deep into the battle. And then they see Buggy just sitting there with his fist against his cheek. As he looks at the big screen and he realizes that the camera's on him. Buggy, still being the attention hog, says, "I'm Captain Buggy, a legend," as Whitebeard then smirks. It's great that we have Shanks' first mate to back us up. "And I'm here for your head, Whitebeard." So Buggy would be more courageous. Whitebeard said in a, like, mopey voice, how he did earlier, and he said, well, that is if you can take down everyone at Marineford. As Buggy just looks as he says, "Of course I can. Who do you think I am?" And Whitebeard says, "Well, of course you actually could. Not even I could take them down on my own. By myself." Buggy then just smirks as he says, "Well, fear the wrath of Captain Buggy," as thunder then shocks in the background. So I've been doing this little theory, and Buggy, since his Devil Fruit is used so mysteriously with hockey, he's going to be, I know this sounds crazy, he's not going to have Conqueror's hockey, no, but he's going to be the most feared man in the world. Now, Buggy is kind of like an emperor, a king. Let's not get into that. But he pictures himself as the first division commander, king of the pirates. So he walks down as he just yells, "Get ready, 'cause Captain Buggy's in town!" As he points out his sword, kind of, and he says, "Fire!" As he puts his hand inside of his pocket, and then he infuses his sword with hockey. And then all of a sudden, it's behind Akainu, as Akainu just noticed it, as he then gets cut right in the back. Then all of a sudden, at Kizaru's head is Buggy's bullet, as is Buggy's gun, as he says, "Let go of Porcus D. Ace, and you and no one here will have to die, okay?" as they didn't say, this kid, this person, this guy actually thinks that he's feared. I mean that he's now. Listen, Buggy's like the third or fourth strongest in the Shanks crew. He's still the first mate, but the only reason why he's so feared is because this dude can have a gun to your head in a second. Um, so yeah, that's why Buggy's so feared, and let's say he's killed a couple of admirals, like a rear admiral. He's killed one of the vice admirals. Let's just say that, that vice admiral who has all those X scars on his face, Buggy gave him that. Just to spice things up, to make Buggy seem cool. So Buggy then fires, Buggy balls at the Marines, as he then says, "Okay, I've been throwing Buggy balls. Take out the Buggy bomb." As he then reminds his men, "Remember, you can only shoot the Buggy bomb twice. If you shoot it anymore, it'll destroy the entire Marine fort and send everyone sinking." So everyone still respects Buggy, but Buggy then Buggy has awakened his devil fruit, and he's strong. So it seems like he teleported there, but he actually just flew there really quick. Buggy's just standing beside Whitebeard. He points his hand at Whitebeard and he says, "Listen, Dugs, I'm here because I want to defeat you and because Luffy's my friend. And plus, Shanks ordered me to come here, and I really don't take orders from Shanks. It's just, oh, I get it, Buggy. Now, here's one thing. I know this might sound crazy, but Buggy can kill Shanks. Now, I know this is idiotic and stupid, but like I said, the reason why Buggy's the most feared pirate in the world is because he can have a gun to your head in seconds, bro. Like, I would not want to mess with that person. So Buggy then kicks his foot at Whitebeard as Whitebeard says, "What? I thought we were," and then all of a sudden, Aokiji's then kicked in the face. I see what you're doing. You won't get away with it." As he then rushes at where Luffy is, and then he smirks, and as he says, "Now you don't have a choice." But then Buggy teleports as he pushes Luffy out of the way, and then he gets hit by Aokiji's attack, which sends him flying back. Now, this is completely bullcrap what I'm talking about. Like Buggy, yeah, he would get strong if he was on Shanks' crew, but he wouldn't, be the most dangerous man in the world. He probably would, but, I'm not one of those Buggy praisers. It's just that you have to give Buggy a little bit of respect now. So, Buggy then does this weird art style, as he says, as one of the vice admirals has all those X's on his face, and says, "Watch out! He's gonna kill you!" But then, Aokiji reacted too late, as he's then cut in the chest by Buggy, and he falls on one knee. He says, "What did you do?" "Oh, nothing. I just made you feel, what should I say, pain." As he goes for a punch to, what's his name's face. What's his name sees this coming, as he then tries to use his hand, but then Buggy's hand then teleports away, and then he then gets punched with a Hawking infused punch by Buggy's hand. Buggy then says, "This is why I'm the most dangerous pirate in the world." As he puts his gun upwards, and all of a sudden the gun is right below Aokiji's neck, and Aokiji is in fear, his eyes swaddling. He says, "Dang it, no, no," as he's been shot up his throat. And Buggy just laughs maniacally as he says, "You will never be Captain Buggy!" As not even Whitebeard expected this. Everybody was like, everybody was like, "I've never got to see Buggy's power up close. It's an honor to see him." This is Whitebeard. No, this is Marco who's saying this. He says, as he's saying this to Whitebeard, "I've never seen Buggy's power up this close. It's an honor to fight him. Even though if it were to be a fist-to-fist fight, anybody could beat Buggy. Even a kid perhaps. But his tricks, they're unstoppable." As then the two Buggy bombs then come, as he says, "Everyone take cover!" As he grabs Luffy and brings him close, as the Buggy bombs then explode, which Buggy then says, Luffy, if you had moved any closer, you would have died. As he looks up at Buggy, and then he says, thanks, Buggy. Can you somehow... I know what you're thinking, Straw Hat. As he grabs Luffy by the hair and he swings Luffy, a good distance away. As then, he, Kizaru comes out of nowhere, kicking Buggy in the arm, as he then teleports to where Buggy was about to fall, and then he kicks Buggy right there. As he teleports right above Buggy, as he kicks Buggy in the head, he says, you're not very strong. You're only a prankster, a trickster. As Buggy then looks up at him, seeing that that he's been figured out, he then says, I'm the most dangerous. As he's then kicked in the face by Kizaru as he tries to get back up, but then Kizaru comes down as he's about to stomp on Buggy. But then Buggy says, you dang, you're gonna pay for this! As he goes for a punch to Kizaru's face, and Kizaru just says, that's not gonna hit me. I'm gonna hit you before you. Dang it! As he's then punched in the face by Buggy, and then Buggy teleports his hand over there again as he punches Kizaru in the face, and then he, gets his pistol as he cuts off his hand and he aims it at Kizaru's head. And then he says, for this one, you're gonna have to die too. I know, I'm killing out the admirals. Now, I'm going to tell you, Buggy could probably actually do this, because if he had Hockey and he had Arm and Hockey and he used his Devil Fruit right, he could actually kill an admiral. Like, he wouldn't be able to fight them, fist, but using his tricks, he could definitely do that. As Kizaru then teleports away, but Buggy then throws a couple of Buggy bombs at him, and he says, what's that going to do? As Buggy's hand then appears right in front of the Buggy balls as he throws them underneath Kizaru, which they then explode. Kizaru jumps up in the air, and Buggy says, that was your mistake, as half of Buggy's body's cut off. And then he does kind of like he collapses two hands together as he does like a juggernaut smash on what's-his-name's head, on Kizaru's head, as Kizaru's been sent flying down. Buggy then takes at both of his hands as he points them in some awkward direction, and then all of a sudden they're at Kizaru's head. Kizaru says, dang it. So what will you do, Kizaru? Surrender? Or face the wrath of Captain Buggy! As some Marines then start to shoot at him. Buggy uses his Devil Fruit as these attacks just go straight through him because he turned into like small, tiny barnacles of himself. But his hands are still there. As you see, they just went straight through him. Dumbos. As Kizaru, this is kind of like the Ben Beckman situation. He knows that Buggy can shoot him off and kill him. You wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it if your life depended on it. As Sakazuki then comes out of nowhere, I didn't want to say Sakazuki, as he then goes to do a lava punch to what's his name? To Buggy. As Buggy then pulls the trigger on accident and he shoots Kizaru in the head. Sakazuki then punches Buggy as Buggy's then sent flying back. He's in the position that Ace was in after this happened to Ace, and he's, he has a few scratches. He's bloody bastard. As Whitebeard then says, oh, so you're telling me this kid could take... And Whitebeard then has a flashback as we then see him and Shanks. Before the class, they didn't say, well, Buggy's around that area. I'll tell him to go to Marineford. Buggy's gotten really strong. As Whitebeard then just laughs. Buggy? Strong? You mean that cowardly little kid who used to pee his pants every time he was surrounded by pirates? No way. Well, I'm surprised you didn't notice the name. Buggy the Clown, red-haired Buggy. Blood red Buggy. As Whitebeard then opens his eyes. Wait, that's Buggy? Buggy's blood red Buggy? Yeah. He's the most feared man in the world. What? This is so weird because he could be a Yonko, you know? Kaido, strongest creature in the world. What's his name? Me, strongest man in the world. And then Buggy, most feared man in the world. Is there anything else? Anything better I need to know about? Oh, let me guess. He's the most idiotic man in the world? No. But out of all of the first mate captains, if we were to come to terms, and Buggy didn't use his tricks and he only used hockey and fought, he would get completely destroyed by all the other captains. Yeah, so Buggy's strong, but without his tricks, he's kind of nothing. To tell you the truth, he could actually kill me. What? As Whitebeard then spits out his alcohol. As we then have back a flashback, as Whitebeard then looks, as he says, Shanks was right when he said that you were strong. As then all of a sudden, a couple buggy balls then set to fire from Akainu's head as they then explode, which sent Akainu flying down a little bit, and then Buggy rushes at Akainu, punching Akainu in the gut, which sends Akainu like scummering back a little bit as he then throws a couple of lava punches at Buggy. Buggy tries to dodge, but then he gets hit by these lava punches. You're weak. The most feared man in the world. Wait. Before you, wasn't it Dragon who was the most feared man in the world? Oh, no, he was the worst criminal in the world. But you have the most blood in your hands in the world. It's my pleasure to kill you. Wait. What? After this, I need you to do one thing, as Buggy's just trying to buy time, because he sees his, like, two of his random crewmates have hockey. Like, they only have one source of hockey, which is not observation hockey, it's, armament hockey. As he's trying to buy time, as his crew then shoots buggy balls, and the two crewmates that have hockey then shoot their guns, as this then hits Sakazuki. Like, these explosions really damage Sakazuki, as Buggy then says, "Now die by the wrath of Captain Buggy!" As he then looks like he's going for a kick, and then Sakazuki then gets kicked in the jaw. And then as Buggy uses his other leg and kicks Sakazuki in the jaw, as he uses his fist and he punches Sakazuki in the mainframe, and then Sakazuki then falls to the ground, which then buggy balls then explode, and then he then says, "Okay, where are they?" And then he gets the buggy poison arrows, as he says, "Buggy poison arrows," as he stabs them into Sakazuki with his hand, and then Sakazuki then yells, "Ah, what did you do?" And then he says, and he's trying to bluff his way out of this because it actually is poisonous, but with Akainu's lava, he can easily burn it off. He then says, "You see, if you don't get that poison out of your body soon, your body's going to explode into oblivion. This was the attack that I was saving for Whitebeard, but it seems I'm going to have to use it on you, since you hurt me a lot." As Buggy then rushes at Akainu, and Akainu, as he then takes out his signature knives, as he throws them at Akainu, as Akainu then dodges all of these, but then Buggy said, "Oh, I'm surprised you dodged. There's also a dampener in there." What? It dampens your devil fruit powers, as he throws Buggy Bomb's knives, every weapon that he has, except for his gun and his signature sword. As these then go flying at Sakazuki. These then all hit Sakazuki, as Sakazuki then coughs out blood, and then he realizes, "I'm so stupid." Oh, by the way, you only have 3 more seconds. As Sakazuki then starts to instantly burn the stuff out of his body. Oh, by the way, the dampener works. You have 5 more minutes until it's down. So, everyone who's a pirate, I advise you to run while you still can. This guy has a dampener on him, and I'm not trying to die here. He then burns it from himself, but then all of a sudden, he then hears as he then, like, he's shaking. He's scared because, like, Buggy's, you know, like, this literally killed the other two admirals. As he's pointing this at Sakazuki's head, and then he says, no, well, let's go to Son Goku's perspective. He says, taking out two of the admirals already? He's messing with our plans. This kid, he's no ordinary. But I'm gonna have to keep Akanu alive because he's gonna have to kill Ace. And yeah. And let's just say Kizaru is not dead, but Aokiji actually is dead. As Buggy then just laughs maniacally. I've defeated you. as he then shoots Sakazuki in the head, as Sakazuki is then knocked out. My super dampener should have got inside of his head. And this should probably numb his Devil Fruit powers, and he's probably going to be knocked out for he's telling this to Whitebeard because he's beside Whitebeard. As he then yells, okay, so none of the admirals are dead. What? I mean, no, his head's behind Whitebeard as he says, okay, Whitebeard, none of the admirals are dead. They're just knocked out by my dampeners. So what happened was I took the wrong pistol, and then Whitebeard just sighs. You know what? We don't have to know. You know? As Luffy, we don't really care about what's happening with Luffy. At this one, Buggy's the main character, you know? And so, the entire war goes out the same. Son Goku gets heavily injured as he got shot in both of his arms. Now, y'all are probably wondering, how is the war going to go the same if Buggy's there and, he has this major power boost, and Ace, he can still save Ace? Well, Buggy's not trying to get killed by Akanu, and his attack would phase through Buggy because Buggy doesn't want to get killed, and then it would still hit Ace. So no matter how you do it, Ace is gonna die. And so after this entire incident, we then see Buggy's bounty as it raised up to. Now this is not actually what happened, but the Gorosei, they say we have to raise him up so Marines will try to get him or kill him on sight. You see, there's no way this kid could have actually killed the admirals. But you're literally telling me that he brought the wrong gun to a war. That kid is stupid. Yeah. As this is where I'm going to be ending off. Buggy then gets back to where Shanks is. Buggy is now. Buggy is now where Big Mom is. As he says, Shanks has some information to relate to you. I don't know why he brought me here, but then Big Mom says, shush. You're going to die. And instead of Shanks relaying that information of there's a certain pirate we need to talk about. Instead, it's going to be oh my gosh, it's going to be Buggy who relays this information because we're trying to get Buggy to be a savage, yo. And the Gorosei, they were like, we need to kill this man right now. When Buggy entered that room, but then he had a gun to 4 of the Gorosei's head, and let's say his 2 crew members then came out of the shadows. They pointed the gun to the Gorosei's head, and then they said, now I know what y'all are saying. The Gorosei probably got some of the strongest hockey ever. But let's just say that these bullets could still injure them, and Buggy would probably get away. So it's futile trying to fight. As they say, what do you want? We have a certain pirate that there's a certain pirate I want to talk about. His name, as this is where we're gonna see Buggy pointing a gun to Big Mom's head as Katakuri and the others say, "You put that gun down." You move one step and I pull this trigger. Buggy. How does Big Mom's voice sound? Like Buggy. Oh no, Buggy or Buggy, something like that. What do you want? I came to relay some information from Shanks. And knowing that I'm the worst criminal, that I'm the most dangerous man in the world, you probably don't want to fight me. I could easily kill you here right now, as she says with a witchy laugh. I dare you to do it. We'll cut off all the supplies to all of your islands of candy, and only the red-haired pirates will be able to get it. And you know, with Ben, Yas, Shank, what's his name? Yeah, the chubby pirate, I forgot his name. And me, you won't be able to defeat the red-haired pirates, even with your alliances. I can't believe I'm under Shanks even though I'm Yonko level. It pains me. Don't you dare compare yourself to a Yonko. You are a mere admiral, boy. You hear that? As Buggy then pulls the trigger. Wait, the trigger wasn't pulled this entire time as Big Mom then starts to feel a little bit down and mad. Well, the information is, and then, we then cut to when Buggy meets Kaido. Kaido then says, as he yells at Buggy, and then he says, "I'm gonna kill you, Buggy!" As they have a little bit of beef. Buggy nearly died, but then Buggy shot Kaido many times in the head with his gun, and he sliced Kaido across his chest with, it didn't really give Kaido a deep gas scar. It kind of gave Kaido like a tiny, like a real small slice across his chest. As he then says, "You're gonna die for slicing me across the chest." As Buggy's then a little bit scared because he cannot defeat Kaido, and Kaido then yells, "And you're also gonna die for messing up my skull." So when Luffy punches Kaido in the head in the Wano arc, let's basically say Kaido's skull might break because it's still not fully healed from what Buggy did to him. Which means, yeah, we get to see brains pop out of Kaido's eyes. It's disgusting. So, now, he then relays this information, and Whitebeard is still going to be alive in this one, because, let's say when Blackbeard came, Buggy shot him in the head, and he also shot a couple of his crew members, which killed them. Yeah, so, the man Blackbeard, as we know him, is now dead, just like the original one. So, yeah, that's how the thing went down. So basically, this is where I'm going to be ending off this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share to all of your friends on your social media platforms. YouTube, we're out. Peace.